Why is the attrition so high? I don't know. Are you struggling answering that question? Or your supervisors, managers, doesn't know how to respond? Or they know what to respond, but they don't know how to communicate it? Well, I cannot blame you. I was in that situation 18 years ago when I started in the call center and BPO industry. I didn't even know what was attrition until I did my homework and I learned not only how to respond to it and deliver an action plan, but I learned how to fix it. That's why in today's class, I put together a 6-step outline to improve your communication skills that you must know if you're a leader in call centers and BPO, so you can not only answer that question, but other difficult questions. Because sometimes you know the answer, but you don't know how to communicate it. Number 1, know your audience. Your audience is whoever you're trying to deliver the message to. So it can be either in a presentation, in a group session, QBR, yearly review, no matter if it's remote or face-to-face. At the end of the day, you need to understand who you're talking to. This is very critical, especially if you're talking to C-suite or senior management. It is a difference. Different views, different perspective, same goal, but the approach is different, okay? If you don't understand your audience, that's how you can feel intimidated. And I know this not only for supervisors, but managers, program managers, OMs, even directors. When they are junior, meaning that they are within the curve, 0 to 10 months, and they don't know their audiences, they can feel very lost and confused. Yes or no? Yeah. Leave me your comment there. You cannot feel intimidated and project confidence. Remember, confidence comes from the inside, not from the outside, okay? So in knowing your audience, you need to understand who you're talking to, either is company people or your clients, what is relevant for them, what are they trying to accomplish, why is that question or those questions or that information, that message that you are gonna deliver, or your team members, or your supervisors, or your managers, why is that important for them? Okay? Number 2, be clear and concise in your message. And what does this mean? Be specific. Do your homework. Get all the data you need to get. All the spikes, all the downs. Why? Remember, to boost the confidence, you need to have the information. For who? For your audience. Look for the facts and the whys, okay? You're gonna thank me for that one. If you go in circles, what is gonna happen? People are not gonna be engaged. You're giving either too much information or not enough information or not relevant information, so you lose competence. You lose confidence. People can think, what is this person talking about? Concise, clear, specific. This leads to our number 3 step, which is prepare ahead of time. Yes, you have to prepare. So we're talking about know your audience, who you're gonna deliver the message to, how you're gonna deliver that message. Now, being clear and concise, you compile all the data and all the necessary information so you have a specific facts and the why. Now, what you're gonna do, you're gonna prepare for that. Being a powerful communicator doesn't mean that you need to be an extrovert. Actually, it has nothing to do with personalities. You have to understand what is the message in a very intentional way that you want to transmit and why. The thing is, if you don't prepare, you don't have the data, then you're gonna be like, oh, what, how? You can prepare for possible questions that your audience are gonna ask. If you are in a QBR, if you are in a yearly review, there is a spike in attrition, you have to understand why does that happen, okay? Because if not, you're gonna lose credibility and you're not gonna be in an active role. You're gonna be in a very passive role. I have heard so many times like, oh yeah, I'm gonna look into that. And what that creates in the client side or your superiors is that you have no clue of what is going on. And sometimes you do know, but you didn't prepare the message. Not everybody improvise well. So prepare. Believe me, this is gonna really increase the level of confidence because you're ready for most of the questions that can be asked. Number 4, be aware of your body language. There is a saying, it's not what you said, but how you say it. Have you heard that before? 80% of your message is going to be your body language. So when I mean be aware of your body language, it doesn't matter if it's remote virtual meetings or if it's face-to-face, because 80% of the message that come across is not what you say. It's all the rest of the components to it. Your tone, your posture. If you're like this, if you're like this, your facial expressions. Are you relaxed or are you like this? Your pace and your tone of voice reflect your attitude. And believe it or not, if you are not really into an engaging tone, your body language is more defensive. That's going to create a lot of obstacles within that conversation instead of creating opportunities to talk and embrace a difficult conversation. Your eyes, your hands. Are you more like rolling your eyes? And this is another thing. If you are remote or virtual and you don't put video, you're losing a huge opportunity to connect with your audience differently, to engage. There is a lot of questions about emotional intelligence. I'm the emotional intelligence queen when it comes to connecting and engaging. So put your camera on exactly the same as if you were in the office. Ask the same questions, okay? Engage in the same way. Be you. You don't have to pretend to be anybody else. You have to genuinely become you. Number 5, listen. But listen carefully. Have you ever experienced that you're trying to talk and people interrupt you all the time, or you interrupt the other person? That's a technique of negotiation, but it's not really applicable when you're trying to deliver a message to your audience in a presentation in QBR or actually conversations. So I strongly recommend when you are presenting, listen to your audience questions and pause. Pause, write down, go back to your data, go back to your historical information and respond instead of just reacting to the moment. Does that make sense? Why is this? Because then sometimes people make a huge mistake of giving either too much information when it's not necessary or not giving relevant information at all, and then you don't close the loop. The message was not delivered. Number 6, close the loop. And what is closing the loop? It is positioning the call of action for the meeting. Wrap up what is next. Specifically, what is going to be next, what was accomplished in that presentation, if there is open items that you need to discuss, what is needed from who. This, guys, is extremely important because most of the time wasters in our industry is that you go in an hour, you go 2 hours, you go to a session, to a meeting, to whatever the presentation was, and then there is no next steps, is no recap, is no call of action of who is doing what. And then what was that? A waste of time. And time is gold, guys. Time is gold nowadays. So you need to close the loop. These are the 6 main components, the 6-step framework to create your communication strategy. So next time when you integrate those in your next session, staff meeting, presentation, QBR, yearly review, you will speak with confidence. You're going to have a high impact in your audience, which is your clients, your people, or within your organization where you're selling an idea, when you're trying to make an impact. Leave me your comment below. Which one do you like the most and you're applying in your industry right now? Do you want to become an unforgettable leader, master the art of communication in your industry, and accelerate your career growth this year? There's so many opportunities in the call center and BPOs in Latin American and Caribbean countries. Then you have to join me in my first conference in San Pedro Sula, Honduras. Supercharge your communication powers in becoming the expert program bootcamp. Mark the calendar now, March 18. More details to come soon, but if you are an early bird, be aware that you will receive exclusive free bonuses for this launch. I'm extremely excited. There is a lot of work behind the scenes with this one because communication is the #1 enemy of growth. Not only you individually, for your people in the organization, you cannot scale your business, you cannot have expansion if you don't master the way you communicate with all your audiences. You cannot negotiate, you cannot do anything. So subscriptions are not open yet, but they're gonna be open very soon. So activate your notification bell right now so you receive all the information before everybody else. And happy Valentine's to all of you. Remember, relationships require care and time. And not only the romantic relationships, every kind of relationship. The basis of all miracles and the extraordinary starts from love. Remember to like, subscribe, share this video with other leaders in our industry that wants to level up their career this year and they are looking for that value added of self-development. Ciao, ciao. See you next class.